Good evening. Some families are keeping their children indoors because of dust coming from a company that deals with wood chippings at the Port of Bristol.
Workers have been hosing down the piles of chippings at Avonmouth docks to try to dampen down the dust, but people living nearby say the pollution is spoiling the environment and affecting their health. Laura Jones reports.
Lunchtime for 8-month-old Caitlin. Like most new parents, Mum Terry is careful what she feeds her daughter. She wants to protect her from anything harmful. And that's why today, on a beautiful spring day, she and Caitlin will be mainly staying indoors because her mum is worried about wood dust in the air harming her daughter if they go outside.
Well, I've had 5 colds, flu type symptoms, 3 sore throats. I actually lost my voice over Christmas. I had a severe sore throat which turned into tonsillitis after 2 weeks of it being sore. Caitlin, who's 8 months old, she's had 5 lots of flu symptoms.
Terry says it's been happening since October, when a company called Stobart Biomass started storing and chipping recycled wood on the dockside at the nearby Avonmouth docks. Terry's auntie filmed it happening. Although the company no longer actually chip the wood there, local people say there's still dust coming off the piles.
We don't know where this wood's come from, what it's been in contact with, who knows what's in it, and we're breathing all this in.
And it's not just Terry and her family who are complaining about this. I've spent the morning here in Poole Street, and everybody I've spoken to says that they've noticed more dust on their cars and on their windowsills, and that they've been getting more coughs, colds and sore throats than they normally would. And it's not just a problem here in the west. Last year, people living near the port of Shoreham in West Sussex reported similar complaints about Stobart Biomass's work there. Today, Stobart Biomass told us that there are 3 other companies chipping wood at the docks and that they are working closely with the Environment Agency. They also said that they are confident in the way they manage any dust produced. And in a statement to us today, the Environment Agency said that they are aware that dust from Stobart Biomass is causing a nuisance to nearby residents and is working with the company to resolve the problem. Back in Avonmouth, along with many other people, Terry says that can't come soon enough.
And I have to speak out for Caitlin because she's really precious to us. We had to go through IVF to get her. And I just feel that somebody out there is allowing my child to breathe that in and playing Russian roulette with her health.
Laura Jones, BBC Points West, Avonmouth.
So how concerned should the residents be about the effects of wood dust? Well, our health correspondent Matthew Hill is here with us now. Matthew, how real are these risks?
Well, if you look at the evidence, that's all really looking at occupational hazard. People who work with wood have to wear masks to protect themselves. There are known problems it can cause through occupational health, like prolonged colds, skin disorders, breathing difficulties, even asthma, and in some cases even there are carcinogenic properties. But I have to say this is very different. This is about people living in the local area who won't have that sort of prolonged exposure to this type of dust. A very different circumstance for which we have very little evidence available.
You said there's very little evidence, so is it being monitored to try and get some?
Well, samples have been sent to the City Council, including samples like this from a windowsill, and they've confirmed it to be wood dust. I mean, what you can see here is probably less concerning. It's more what you can't see, the tiny particles, the so-called PM10 particles that can lodge deep inside the lining of the lung, and that's something which there could be concern about. I've looked at the website for the company. They do talk about some C-grade biomass, which includes things like recycled kitchens, and so that could possibly include MDF and that sort of material where there are concerns about that.
Okay, so we're waiting to hear from the Environment Agency. Matthew, thank you very much.
A farmer says his barn has been burnt down twice and his milk contaminated in a string of attacks on his land in